Hey, good morning, everyone. First thing I want to do today is tell you what our topic is. Our topic today is a kind of a mixture of two things. I want to tell you a little bit about the market, where it's at, how things have been happening. I also want to talk to you a little bit about going to rent versus buying. We'll talk about some stats about that. But first things first, I want to show you my new magazine coming out. It is available. It is being sent out. Some of you will be receiving this next week if you are on my mailing list, if you would like one. It's got some awesome holiday recipes for you to be able to put together for the family. So anyway, there it is. That's what we do. So let's talk a little bit about the market in the area here in Tucson. What is going on? I want to also tell you proof. I like to back things up and not just talk about it. I like to give you facts, what's happening. And I also like to give you facts about what is happening with my business that support the things that I'm talking about. So we talked about last week a little bit about why you should be listing during the holiday season, November, December, early January. And the reason is, especially November, December, is you have less inventory. As a home seller, you have less inventory, so less competition for you, which means there's more buyers looking at your home. That's important. And that's the way the market runs. I mean, historically, nationwide. Some other states can't say the same thing because it is too cold out there. This is Arizona, so people are out home hunting. So let me tell you about the success we've had that backs that up. Currently, right now, we have 5 homes under contract. Yes, 5 homes under contract that are closing between the end of November and December. We've got to go through the entire inspection process and get that all taken care of, but we've got 5 under contract. The home that we just listed on Friday morning, we had our first offer set up and ready to go 9 hours later, and we eventually had that offer was accepted. So in 9 hours, that home was pretty much sold. We had the contract that we wanted, full price offer for the seller, and it actually was on the higher end, but beautiful, beautiful home. You probably saw some of the postings on that. So that is proof with the 5 that we have under contract and the success that we had on that particular house. That is proof that the market is still extremely healthy. Now's a good time to list, sell your home. We also had a huge open house, best one I've ever had. It was an open house where I actually needed a couple of people to assist me with the open house because we had over 50 people come through this open house, take a look at it. Some of them were neighbors, a lot of them were buyers, potential buyers. We had a couple sellers, potential sellers coming through there. So the market is still very, very healthy. We do have some major buyer needs, and I'll be putting that out during the week. I'm trying to find these buyers that came in who lost out on this particular property that are looking for other properties. But the market is strong, it's healthy, it's moving. We'll talk a little bit next week and the weeks to come about how the election year may affect the market, but we'll talk about that next week. Now is still a good time to list. If you are looking, interested, want some information about the pricing on your home, what we could sell it for, give me a call. I'll be happy to do that. Today I also want to transition a little bit to something that I started doing some more research on and finding some really hard numbers in reference to renting versus buying a property. And I know I've touched base on this in the past, but it's just such a big thing for me because if you're an investor or a first-time home buyer, I just want to encourage you with some facts about rental prices and the market and investing. I want to encourage you to go out and buy some investment property or a home for yourself or your family to live in. So one of the things that really got my attention, and sometimes we don't sit and do the math, right? So what I have here is I have a chart that I was looking over some of the numbers as to if you are renting a property, what you will be wasting. Yes, I said wasting in 1 year, in 3 years, 5 years, and 15 years if you rent your entire life. So let's just go with $1,200 a month, which is a pretty average price if you're looking at a 3-bedroom, 1,500, 1,300 square foot home. That's pretty average around the Tucson area, depending on location. So if you rent it for 1 year, at the end of the year, you would have put $14,400 into that property. in 3 years, it would have been $46,800. And the most surprising number, it's not surprising to me, but the number that I want you to pay attention to is this chart here talks about what you would spend in a year, 3 years, 5, 10, and 15. But the one at the end tells you whether you have lost or won in reference to renting this property. At the end, in green, it says your return on your investment on that property, it's really someone else's investment because your return is $0. You will get zero. If you rent that property for 30 years, you just paid someone else's mortgage off. They thank you very much. They'll move on. But you will be putting a lot of money in someone else's pocket. This is just 1 year. 3 years. $43,200 in 3 years if you rent it at an average of $1,200 a month. That is huge because at the end of your lease, you are going to get zero in return when in fact what you could be getting is your equity back. So really pay attention to that. All week I'm going to be highlighting with my posts renting versus buying. I also want to give you a few stats in reference to what the market is doing and why still owning a property is the best thing. Zillow does a lot of reports, and their latest report says home values in the U.S. have steadily increased an average of 7.2% since 2018. Home values are going up. So buy sooner than later because home values are still going up. If you own the property, that's fantastic. If you don't own a property, the price is going up. So the sooner, the better. Also, a big deal is that small individual real estate investors account for a whopping 74.4% of rental properties in the U.S. So those small properties that you see buying up homes all over the country, they have 74.4% of the market, which means they control it in the sense that they can charge what they want to for rent, and the rent keeps going up nationwide, even locally in our area. One of the big complaints I'm getting is that when we do the numbers, people who are renting are saying my mortgage would be less than my rent. Yes, in most cases it will be. Investors are getting into the market of real estate more so than stock. Stock has dropped so much. So many more investors are getting out of some of the stocks, and now they are actually investing in real estate. And there's a lot of reason why. We won't go into that, but basically bottom line is it's a safer, more controlled investment. You're just not relying on the market and world events to control your market, the elections and stuff like that. Real estate, you can invest on. It's one of the big opportunities that you have here. The other thing that's alarming a little bit about rental is an astonishing 91 out of 100 top housing markets across the country have seen rent and rental increase over the past year. So 91 out of 100 of the top markets and 66% of the communities or the top rental areas have seen rental properties go up. If you're a renter, I know you've seen your rent go up, and who's to know what's going to happen this next year? Investing in property or buying a home where you know your mortgage will not change. Get a locked fixed rate on your property. Again, all week I'm going to be highlighting renting versus buying, why you should buy now. Why is it now the time? Why is real estate the investment you should be looking into for now and for your future? All right, everybody. Again, my magazine is out. You want one, go ahead and message me. It's pretty awesome. Look forward to talking to you next week. And what I will start to do on a weekly basis is highlighting what's going on in different pockets of Tucson in terms of the market. What's the rate, average days of market? I will be highlighting Green Valley, Sahuarita, South Tucson, North Tucson, all of the Tucson area, Oro Valley area, and I will just be giving you different facts as we go through. Have a fantastic day. Be blessed. We will talk soon.